over there in a second.
Hello, everyone. Happy Wednesday. I know all of you are sitting there thinking about the weekend. You're going to have a long weekend because of the holiday. Some of you might be sitting at your desks wishing it was Friday or Thursday so you could head out the door. Well, we have a great, interesting guest today, and I cannot wait for you to hear her story. She is amazing. I just got to meet her, and I just think she's the greatest thing. So with that, I'm going to bring it over to Debbie so she can introduce you. So
Thanks, Laura. Well, it's a beautiful day. We're in Chicagoland, and this is so much fun being on Zoom, knowing that Lynn is in, a different state. It's just fun just to be able to talk to other people, bring out what they have a passion about, bring about their expertise so that you or someone you know can get some help in this arena, or actually think a little bit about your own person, thinking like, boy, where can I be better, and what can I do to enhance and make my health better? And so with that, I just want to say that we're not going to take a lot of time interviewing or a lot of time introducing Lynn, just because we are in a time frame today and we want to make sure Lynn gets everything in there. But what I want to say is I met Lynn on another platform, and I met her, we were talking, and there was an interview situation going on, and I was very impressed on what she was doing. I kind of like misplaced her name, wasn't really thinking, and one day some stuff was popping up on my phone, and it was kind of like one of these like, oh my goodness, I need to reach out to her. And so I immediately did and started talking to her, and I was just impressed on everything she's doing. She's got such a huge passion for what she's doing and very successful. And I am just going to turn it over to Lynn and say, Lynn, we want to hear what you have to say because this is an exciting topic. Take it away.
Okay, thanks, Debbie. Thanks, Laura. You guys, I love your accent. Of course, in Cincinnati, Ohio, I've got a perfect accent, or no accent, as you well know. So, yeah, it's good to be here. So I was I'm a 30-year veteran teacher. I taught inner city 6th grade for 30 years. I was teacher of the year. So I was born and bred to be an educator. I'm from New York. I talk fast because I can. So why wouldn't I? So just listen faster, right? Fasten your seatbelt. So when I was teaching 6th grade in 2004, I began hemorrhaging, and I found out that I had this fibroid tumor in my uterus, and he had grown exponentially since my previous OBGYN appointment. He was 2 pounds. I named my 2-pound fibroid tumor Bob. And I hung on with Bob until the end of the school year. And then I had a radical hysterectomy because I just couldn't hang on anymore. I was hemorrhaging. So I went into my surgery. My favorite OBGYN surgeon, Dr. Frank, whom I loved. I think I had a crush on him. He said, okay, Lynn, ovaries in or ovaries out right before surgery. And I didn't know back then in 2004 that ovaries are little hormone factories. But I don't know if you remember Gilda Radner, the comedian on SNL who had just died of ovarian cancer. And I thought, oh gosh, I'm Irish. I either drink or worry. I don't want to become a drinker. So take my ovaries out. I don't want them. I don't want to worry about ovarian cancer, the silent killer. So my doctor took them out, and I came out of the surgery, and my husband, Jeff, who was a pharmacist at that point, thought, oh my God, I know what's going to happen. Because he worked in this big box pharmacy, and all of his women would come in every month for their hormone pills. And they were all, in his words, kind of cranky and overweight and were irritable and didn't want sex with their husband. He thought, he's 9 years younger than me. He thought, oh my God, not on my watch. So he flew to Houston, Texas to become a compounding pharmacist. I went back in to see my OB/GYN for my 10-week checkup. Jeff went with me, and he had his lab coat on, Jeff RPH, and Dr. Frank had Dr. Frank OB/GYN. And I sat there with my little 15-minute copay, like a tennis match, and I talked over my head. At the end of the 15 minutes, Dr. Frank said to Jeff, okay, Jeff, your wife, your cause, I'll send this prescription for bioidentical hormone replacement therapy for you, not me. And we left the office. Jeff went back to a friend's compounding lab, began to compound bioidentical hormone replacement for me from plant-based powders. I began to use the creams all summer, and I went back to school the next year, and I felt amazing. I didn't gain the required 40 pounds after hysterectomy. I still had energy. I was radiant. I wanted sex. I ran circles with all my friends who were 30 years younger than me or 20 years younger in the classroom. And I thought, oh my God, I'm onto something. So when I finished teaching in 2007, I thought, I'm a pretty good educator. I think I need to talk to women and help them figure out what's going on, because here's the deal. This is not taught in medical school. So our doctors who are amazing people. We love our doctors. They've had 4 hours of hormone education in medical school, 4 hours, none on nutrition, none on supplements. So we are a country of dis-ease, in my opinion. So 07 came, finished teaching, did a bunch of research, got trained, got educated, became even more passionate about helping women. And in 09, built my little teeny cottage, called it the Happy Hormone Cottage. And women, I hung up a sign that said we talked to women, and women just showed up. I mean, I didn't have a business plan, didn't want to make money, just wanted to talk to women. And it's been an incredible journey over 13 years. The women told their families, they told their friends and family, and they got their husbands involved, and they began to see their lives improve. And we just exploded. So today we have our own satellite office in Mason, Ohio, and Cincinnati. And in Dayton up the road, we have our own brick and mortar building we own called the Integrative Hormone Center and Compounding Lab. We have a medical facility with 5 nurse practitioners, a medical director, my husband, Jeff. We've got about 20 employees, thousands of clients, patients. And it's just, I couldn't have dreamed what would happen. I think I was just obedient to the universe, and it just has gotten bigger and bigger, filling a niche and helping women. So what I do is I have these free small group Zoom sessions on Wednesday and Thursday afternoon on Eastern Standard Time called Hormones 101 with Lynn. And people can sign up for those and come in for these 60-minute hours to get educated on why hormones are important, the jobs they do, why we need them. So you can go to my website, which would be, of course, happyhormonecottage.com. And you'll see across the top banners, and one of them will say Hormones 101 with Lynn. You can click on book an appointment, and there you go. It's so easy. It's like breathing, and they're free. And I think what my passion is what my truth is this: if I can educate women and they can learn from what I teach them, I can change behavior for the better. Because here's another truth: if you do nothing today to feel better, it's the best day you're ever going to have. I'll say it again: if you do nothing today to feel better, this is the best day you're ever going to have. And I am not a hormone facility. That's a bunch of hooey. I work for women who are 18 to 88 is my oldest women, because hormones are important. Mm-hmm. And as we get older, past the age of 35 and often younger, as we begin to lose our hormones because we're older and we don't have what we need, issues begin to become exacerbated, and it's a slow decline. Wake up one morning at the age of 42 and think, oh my God, crap, I feel horrible. What has happened to me? You don't even recognize themselves. And every year beyond that, it just gets worse and worse. And they go to their doctor for help, and doctors don't know about anything with the hormone piece. So they're prescribing birth control and Ambien and Prozac. And I'm like, but you're not Prozac deficient. It's progesterone, and no one knows about it. It's criminal. And our women are walking around drugged, and no one's getting better. So we want to go ahead and identify the root cause and fix that in the arena of sex hormones, cortisol, and thyroid, which are huge. And if we can do that in a functional medicine scope, looking at the body as a whole, and fix the issues, there is no need for drug therapy for most people, right? If you're anxious, depressed, moody, whatever, it's a progesterone issue, because progesterone does a lot of amazing jobs in our body. And again, no one knows about it, right? So it's crazy. So wow. If the listening audience has a paper and pencil, I want you to write down these words: the tasks of progesterone, and number your paper to 7. And beginning at age 35, the progesterone receptors begin to become depleted. So a 6th grade teacher moment here. If this is a progesterone receptor, they're throughout our body, not big and green unless you're a frog, but you get the idea. Till age 35, they're full of progesterone. At age 35, the ovaries begin to get older, more wrinkly, less productive. You become a high-risk pregnancy, you become less fertile, and make less progesterone. So the receptors begin to empty. By the time you're 42 and 46, the cup is empty. And herein lies the issue, because progesterone does these 7 jobs. Number 1, it helps sleep. So if you're taking notes, write down sleep for number 1. Mm-hmm. It helps number 2, depression. 3, it helps anxiety. So you've got sleep, depression, anxiety. 4, elevates the mood. So let me ask you this: if you're not sleeping, anxious, depressed, and moody, is there any joy of life? No. And progesterone is called our joy of life hormone, right? Number 5, it helps those sugar cravings you get before your period. 6, it helps aches and pains. 7, helps prevent breast cancer. So again, check your notes, mark whatever resonates with you: sleep, depression, anxiety, mood, aches and pains, sugar cravings, and breast cancer prevention. And so when your receptors are empty and those jobs aren't getting done in your body, life as we know it becomes really, really stressful. There is no sex as we know it anymore, unless maybe you're in Chicago, but in Ohio, that doesn't happen anymore after the age of 35. Little joke there, huh? So we really want to go ahead and refill progesterone receptors. So we do an amazing testing. We don't use blood work. It gives you a number. We want to get a 15-page report back on the testing that we use. Then you meet with a nurse practitioner for an hour appointment. If you're out of state, you've got to come in and be seen in person annually. That's the law, not our law. It's federal law. for telemedicine. And then we can go into our compounding lab after your 15-page report and NP appointment and create progesterone from plant-based powders, and then put it in these cool HR tickers, use the number of clicks your body needs for you. You feel your receptors when you use it at night before bed. It's a beautiful thing. And once you get up and running in 3 weeks to 3 months, you keep using it until the day you croak, because you'll never make more because you're older than 35. Sometimes we have women who are younger than 35 who just don't have enough anyway because of genetics or environment or whatever. And they also need to regulate periods, help fertility, reduce pain. So it's an amazing hormone. We also deal with estrogen, testosterone, cortisol, and so on with the testing, because it isn't just about progesterone, but progesterone is the very first hormone we begin to lose at the age of 35. We got to begin to address that first and foremost, right? So that's just a big awareness. So if you're not feeling well and you have any of those issues, you might want to consider, you know what? I don't need birth control, Ambien, Prozac, Celexa, whatever it is I'm on. I need to have my hormone levels checked in the right way, not with blood work or saliva, but with the testing that we use, and really get a great report back on your body. And then we can work with filling those receptors. So I haven't talked for 10 minutes. So I want you to ask me some questions because I need to know where to go from this point. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Laura, you want to go first?
Yeah, I have a question. You said you have your own way of testing. You don't do blood or saliva or anything like that. Can I ask how you do testing?
Yeah, we do dried urine strip testing. So
Okay.
you get filter papers, you pee on these little strips of paper,
Okay.
and they go to a lab, and then they're analyzed for 15 pages. And it talks about methylation pathways and big words, metabolites and steroid pathways. And
Yeah.
we know everything about your body we need to know to actually fix the issue and replace the hormone that you need bioidentically.
Okay. And I think that's great. I would think that would be a better way anyway. It'd be a lot easier.
Yeah.
As far as, there's a lot of people, especially women, when they get in their 30s and 40s and all that, they're all running around all over the place and they've never been diagnosed with maybe ADHD or ADD. And maybe they have been misdiagnosed, okay, in their later years. Does your program help them find out if it's something more hormonal than it is, brain wise?
Well, other issues of hormone imbalance as we age are things like brain fog,
Yeah.
hot flashes, night sweats, weight gain, unrelenting fatigue, hair loss, dry skin, vaginal dryness. I mean, the list is really endless. Bone the issues. So here's another truth for you. I'll throw at you. Every woman alive in the world has a hormone imbalance after their age 35.
Okay.
And you cannot juice your way. You cannot juice plus your way. You cannot jog your way. You have to replace them with actual bioidentical hormones. I mean, all those things are great. Exercise, it's all helpful. But the way to get more hormones is to actually use hormone replacement therapy. And we prefer the bioidentical way from plant-based powders, right? So there's also this popular thing called pellets. I'm the pellet antichrist. I hate pellets because when you know better, you do better. They do a lot of damage to women. We spend a lot of time fixing women who've been damaged by pellets. It's not hormone replacement therapy. It's just a strategy. We want to actually balance your hormones based on great testing and get you better and refill receptors and not implant something in your body that's going to cause you harm. And here's the thing, I don't make this stuff up. If you go to my website, again, it's happyhormonecoach.com. I've got a research and readings webpage with lots of studies, lots of books, lots of articles. Some I've written, some I haven't. I've gotten a couple of books out there. And then I've got a great blog and a great webpage on why we don't believe in pellets at our facility. Every place else does, an amazing money maker. I don't want your money. We're good. We want you to be better for the rest of your life until you croak and feel the best you can feel, right? Not be drugged. Bipolar is a big issue. We see a lot of women today being diagnosed with bipolar when it's actually a hormone imbalance. Now, there are women who truly do have the bipolar disorder. That's fine, but there are women who are being diagnosed with it because they can't figure out anything else, and they're put on this medication when truly it's a hormone imbalance issue. And I think that's really criminal. So whatever we can do to educate women to be aware of their bodies and at least get tested and rule it out, why wouldn't you do that, right?
I think it's amazing, your platform that you have, the women come, or your Zooms to talk. Women need to talk about this kind of stuff. And I'm very impressed with that. Thank you for starting that.
Yeah.
So Deb, I don't have any more questions. Do you?
I have two questions. My number one question was going to say that I think that as I'm viewing what you're doing and what you're saying, I mean, you look fantastic. I feel like people, they will age better if their hormones are in check, because, you know, it can, like, all these things that you're mentioning can definitely affect yourself inside and out as well, your skin as well. Second thing I just want to say is that you mentioned the cortisol. So do you actually see men for that? Because there's a lot of men that deal with that issue. Do you do anything with the men?
Well, it's funny because when I began my cottage in 2009, 2013 women would come in and say, "Oh my God, Lynn, I feel amazing. Where can I send my old fart husband?" Their word, not mine. I thought to myself, "Oh God, no, men. I just can't do it. They're so weird. Don't make me do it."
Yeah.
Coming to my husband, finally he said, "Oh my God, woman, just stop it. I'll go ahead and do it." So he went back to school. He got an advanced fellowship in functional medicine. He opened his own men's center in 2017, called it the Integrative Hormone Center for Men. You know how men are, the poor things. Normally their wives will call for them, they'll stumble, and we don't do any advertising, but we're really busy. We help men as well. Men often need what our two passions for men are. Yeah, it's testosterone, but we really want to reduce prostate cancer and cardiac risk because they're going to be taken out by one of those two things, not cancer. So we'll look at the whole arena. We do really great blood work for men that their doc PCP wouldn't know about probably, to reduce those issues. And then men that are even as in their mid 30s or 40s, if they've got a stressful life, and quite frankly, who doesn't today, often needs some testosterone support. So we work with that arena. But to answer your question, yeah, we work with them and cortisol as well. It's the whole, here's the thing about what you need to know. You just can't fix one piece. That's what standard of care does. Allopathic medicine does one piece. Our body works as a whole. Think of a car engine. So you look at your car engine, okay, it all works together as one whole with the tires and everything. We want to look at the whole piece and how it all fits together. You just can't drug one thing and think you're better. You're just drugged. You want to again get in and find and fix the root cause, right?
Excellent. And your actual website, is there a link or a path on that for the men's part too, or is that a separate website?
There, I think if you click on services, it does say IHC for men, but we have another website as well called it's at www.ihcpharmacy.com.
IHC Pharmacy. Okay.
IHC stands for Integrative Hormone Center, ihcpharmacy.com. But you can get there from my web, I believe.
I think that's very interesting. I'm sure Lori is knowing where I'm thinking with this, but I think this could be very amazing for, you know, and it would be well worth making a trip and coming out. And I'm sure some of your fees are on there because I mean, the blood work and everything, that's pretty cool. Well, okay. So I am very excited. I think that I didn't even have a clue on more of what you're going to talk about. Because when I did have that conversation with you just recently, I mean, you told me things, but I am now like my eyes are opening.
Yeah.
Just one really fast, because I know that we're on a time schedule here, but you actually were in a book, the book that was just released or is coming out this week. And I know some of your story was in there, and that's exciting because you're being featured, you're being looked at. Can you just tell us a couple quick seconds about what the book was?
Yeah, I did a book on my own a few years ago called Own Your Journey to Hormone Balance. But I just had a book come out Friday. It's already an Amazon bestseller. Yay! It's called Lifting Up. You can actually, and I'll put the link in when I get to the link, I'll put a link in, but you can buy it on Amazon for $1.99. The paperback book comes out, I think, in a few weeks. But Lifting Up, and I was an author collaborator. There were 8 of us or 7 of us that wrote a chapter. And I wrote a Warrior for Women's Wellness speaks out about our journey and what we do. It's a great chapter to read about and really get up to speed. One thing I want to say too is some women are really shy and don't want to be on a group Zoom and share their story. So we also have individual step ones, phone, Zoom, or in person for $25 to meet with a patient consultant. It's not me. I've got amazing employees who've done this with me since the very beginning. I can't get rid of them. They love me or I love them. So they can meet with those employees for $25 for the consult, individual, confidential. But the group Zooms are great because you can hear the women's stories and realize, oh my God, I'm not crazy. She's got the same issues I do. And it's so comforting to know that you're not alone, that there is help for you, that women all over the world have the same issues that you do. And it's not in your head as you've been told, and you're not just crazy, right? It's a hormone issue. It's a physical issue that can be fixed and should be fixed if you just know how to go about it the right way and think for yourself and don't just ask your OBGYN.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we can't say enough about how much we appreciate you. We know that you have to jump soon because you do need to get on something else that you're doing. We appreciate that we were able to get this connected. We were able to get you on here because I knew there was something that we knew. We get these feelings like, oh my goodness, we really need to talk to this person. And little did we know that we think Lori and I could, the wheels on the bus are thinking about how many people that we can help. I also want to say, please, everybody who's watching this, share it, share it, share it, because I think that, you know, there's so many people out there that just don't even think in this arena, because again, it's not talked about a lot by your doctor. And if it is talked to you by your doctor, they're talking about, you know, more the pharmaceuticals and, you know, all those things. And I agree with you. Anything we can do to help ourselves, it's more natural. Anything we can do to do good things to our body and keep our body in good functioning form is number one. I mean, that's what we should be doing. That's what the focus we should always be having, you know, and sometimes we all kind of go off a little bit and we don't realize. And this has been a great subject to have. We're so impressed. With that, Laura, I'm going to ask if you want to close us out.
Oh, sure. Thank you, Lynn. You were so inspiring. I will put on our Facebook page also the pictures of your books that I had put on the advertisement and a couple of things. But if you could add the rest of your things, that would be totally awesome. I just want to say, everybody, have a great weekend. We'll see. Oh, no, I should say it's not. It's Wednesday still. I'm pushing the week.
Okay. Weekend starts early.
Right. We're going to see you on Friday, and I'm looking forward to that. But with that, I'm going to say, I'm Lori.
And I'm Debbie.
And thanks for being with us today. Thank you, Lynn. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Lynn, so much. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.